This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
At Amica Insurance, we know it's more than just a car. It's the two-door coupe that was there for your first drive. The hatchback that took you cross-country and back. And the minivan that tackles the weekly carpool. For the cars you couldn't live without, trust Amica Auto Insurance. Amica. Empathy is our best policy.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
And
Double 13-14 pass has been a fast-paced, action-packed.
Fast? It's the longest 2 hours of my week so far.
Well, here's someone who tends to agree. It says Abbott seems like he'd rather be selling tarp shooters and initial games door to door than running the board.
Correct.
Maybe you should teach me how to do it. I mean, I've programmed multi-billion-dollar financial systems. I think I could figure out how to push a couple of buttons and feign interest. I mean, if Meat Sauce can run the board, it must take the intellect of a first grader.
You noticed Meat Sauce wasn't asked to be here.
Yeah.
He can't do that either.
It's not on a fast pace.
No, not like
something
this. It just
slower
goes.
pace.
Yeah, that's why the power trip works for him.
Yes, that's absolutely great. And look at here. Look who the cat is. Drag, drug in the legendary.
I'm just getting
Rosen.
waves of nostalgia. And I was driving in, listening to the dulcet tones of Mr. Chad Abbott, our erstwhile award-winning program director.
Well, thank you, Rosie.
Thinking back to the days of PA and. Oh man, I can't believe you got. I mean, you get dragged. I mean, you're helping out today.
Nice to hear Abbott doing the weather report or someone who sounds like him. Here's another.
I thought his weather report was excellent.
It's already 1:30 and we still haven't heard what guest Abbott has lined up today. Who have you lined up?
Oh, is that what we're supposed to do? Mark Rosen, the legendary one.
There you go. Thanks for doing
the help. How about this? Common, I was about to change the station, but then I heard you and Abbott, and it seemed like you were having fun. Then I noticed I was having fun. So I continued listening. Great program today.
So the idea is if the listeners are having fun, if we're having fun.
The listeners are having fun.
I get it. All right.
Someone else agrees with you. Fast moving?
Yeah, this is not fast.
Yeah. What are you laughing about?
Yeah, Rosie.
It's not like you helped pick up the pace, even though he says that in that liner. I helped pick up the pace at 2:00.
Well, I'm here. You know,
you are here.
I am here. Happy to see everybody.
Team together, your thoughts.
What'd you just say?
Team together.
Oh, are you talking with Nico?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Team together.
Welcome home, Rosie.
It's not as catchy as Row the Boat.
No.
I was thinking Pedal the Bike.
Right.
Tread Water.
Tread Water. That's what they've been doing for decades.
But I don't mind Team Together. Everybody's got to have some kind of a slogan.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's as significant as PJ's. No, I mean he's got. Obviously there's personal reasons behind that. For
right.
People who like to poke fun at it, but it didn't take long. Thankfully, they lost that game in the last second shot to knock his team out of it. Colorado State out of the.
Yeah, but do you really believe that there wasn't some?
Oh, there was a deal done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
but it just would have delayed it a week.
Right? Yeah, I guess it would have delayed it a week.
No, that's
or so.
all.
And,
But,
and again, the idea that the transfer portal starts on Monday, so we need them. Well, yeah, but still, if you're going to talk to kids, they're going to go, "Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of University of Minnesota."
Well, and this is the world we live in now, where what the Drake coach went to Iowa. I mean, it's not just the players who are moving around; it's the coaches that are moving around at a fast pace, but even more so now. But
they've been doing it forever and ever. And they used to, when the portal first started, a lot of people were unhappy with it. Even a lot of the coaches at first were not real thrilled with it. But then all of a sudden, when you're losing players, that's one thing. But when you're gaining them, you sort of like the portal.
Right. I don't know. You're right. In totality, would it have made a difference? No. Obviously, he was trying to win that basketball game, but as soon as it was over, I'm sure his mind clicked over to going, well, I'm heading to back to Minneapolis, where it all kind of started, and I'm excited for this opportunity, excited to see that new paycheck, to get going and to get my staff together, and more importantly, to hit the road and start doing what's necessary in this new world, and that's find out how much money I have to spend. It is. It's. I was thinking just walking in here about comparing coaches. And I think PJ Fleck has made inroads in this new world we live in with Nil. To the extent of where he needs to be, no, but I think that he's made strides. I think of Bob Motzko, who's playing in the national tournament starting Thursday night, the hockey coach, and he knows he's got his own Minnesota ties, and he basically gets, there aren't many Minnesota-born hockey players. There are some, obviously, that leave to, go play at wherever, Wisconsin, fill in the blanks, but most of them, he stay here and play for him. He doesn't have the same problem as the basketball coach does as far as keeping the top players for the most part, and still success, however you want to identify it. I think Gopher hockey fans, the ardent Gopher hockey fans would be, they'll be disappointed if they don't get to at least the Frozen Four and win a national championship. But it's hard to do that. But it's not like those guys aren't competitive and in the mix pretty much every single year. Much different than what the Medved's now going to be facing, and what Ben Johnson faced, and what Richard Pitino was facing, and go down the list, where they just have not been able to sustain anything, even pre nil and pre transfer portal. It's been unsustainable. So what's going to change? I don't know. I hope that he's going to bring a couple of his former players that got him to the tournament. And had some success with him to Minnesota. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens, because a lot of times these players are loyal to the coach as much as the city or the program they're going to. But Colorado State's nice, but coming to the Big Ten can mean a lot to some of these young guys. So wish him well. But there's a lot more.
We did for the Drake coach when he came up from Division II. He brought 4 Division II players with him, and they got into the. They were winning ball. They got to the tournament and won their first game.
It's just a difficult world we live in, and I think that's one of the things some people, not everyone agrees with. That I've been, like everyone else, been watching, the share of March Madness, and it feels different. The teams are pretty much, I'm not saying the same, but that I don't remember ever watching that guy play. I've never seen a minute of this guy play or that guy play. Well, you don't know, because last year he was on another team, and he just so happens to be wearing a different uniform right now. And that's, he represents the college, but he represents himself and his family as much as the school he's playing for, because he may not be there next year.
I had my eye on Derek Queen for a long time.
Have you?
Yeah.
You just like saying Derek Queen.
Well, no, actually, because I got the video of Baby Brother Peter playing against him in AAU basketball.
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, except Baby Brother Peter gets his ankles broke by Derek Queen.
That's all right. That's...
Baby Brother Peter doesn't have a problem with it.
Didn't he face, who faced Jalen Suggs?
Baby Brother Peter didn't face Jalen Suggs.
No, who am I thinking of?
I don't know, Holmgren.
Holmgren, okay.
Well,
geez, only Chet Holmgren.
But that was just in a practice. That wasn't in a game, because Holmgren was a little further along in his high school career. Right. But Baby Brother Peter got faked out of his jock by and it's the lead highlight on this highlight package.
Oh, that's funny.
That's been viral, so it's pretty good. And then in the comments section, someone said, "Why'd they have little Timmy guarding him?" Oh. So Pete now is now known as Little Timmy. Little Timmy.
Badge of honor.
So, yeah, it is a badge of honor. Well, the the thing, because of nil and because of the transfer portal, if you can get some dough, you can get a couple of people to transfer. There's no reason why you can't all of a sudden turn a team into, which was near the bottom of the Big Ten, into a middle of the pack or more, right?
Look at Michigan. Last year, they were at the bottom, basically. And they had a hell of a year. And it only takes, this just in, because it's basketball, not a football team. You get two stars, two studs, and some pretty good players around you. You can turn it around in 1 year, as Michigan did this past year. It's just been a long, long wait for the Gophers to kind of reach that level. And we've talked about it even before all this happened, where I look at, now Wisconsin got eliminated, but the Badgers are the perfect example of a school that is just madly consistent every single year, really both in football and basketball in particular. How they doing? A lot of times with Minnesota kids. And that's where the Gophers need to get. I mean, it's not about, 1 year and just we're going to put all our chips on the table and put all our cash on the table. You have to try to sustain something. And when you're kind of an outlier, as the Gophers have been, competing against the likes of, UCLA and Oregon and, the former Pac-12 teams, it's just a whole different level of competition. But I think Medved's got the chops to do it. He's got the contacts. I know Dave Thorson's sticking around. He's real close with Dave. And I don't know how many other assistants he's bringing with him, but I'm sure all that stuff is in play right now. And the wheels are in motion and greasing the wheels and greasing the palms of some of these kids already. I will say this. I'd never heard of Nico Medved until it was being rumored that he was going to be, that he was a front runner for getting the University of Minnesota head coaching job. When you compare it to the last two hires, before that it was Ben Johnson, who had no head coaching experience whatsoever. Before that it was Richard Pitino, who had only been coaching He'd been a head coach maybe a year or two. Yeah, so he had the name, but he really didn't have any a track record of being a really successful Division I basketball coach. At least here, you can say you have a guy that has been to the NCAA. He's taken Colorado State certainly is not. They're not probably an athletic power in much of anything, right? I mean, I'm sure the football, the basketball teams have every once in a while done something nice, but he's gotten, last 2 or 3 years in a row, and he won a game this year. And so he was successful at Drake and at Furman. So at least this time we have a guy who has a proven track record. Doesn't guarantee anything, but it's a guy that you can say it wasn't just no experience. Ben Johnson, he was one of us, and Richard Pitino, who had very little experience. Well, again, it goes beyond the X's and O's. I don't think anyone is questioning Medved's ability to coach a basketball team. And I'm not saying he is head and shoulders above what Ben Johnson potentially would be. But it's not about that anymore. You have to have the combo platter. You have to have the coaching ability, obviously, personality, and you have to have the inroads to the network to get some of these kids that are out there. I think Garzi mentioned it with you when he called in. I was listening on the way in. I think he said something like 700 players have already entered the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a lot already in the first week, and the tournament's not even over. We're just hitting, where we are this weekend. So there's a lot of players out there, and you have to have the network, and not just you, but your assistant coach, and then you got to be ready to jump in with the dollar signs. It's not always about the money, but a lot of times it is these days, and that's just the name of the game. I think you like the direction this program is heading. Well, come on. I just mentioned, the comparison with Motzko and, the guy, you're trying to get me going. Yeah, I know. I mean, I think he's a good hire. I'm not denying that. I understand what Mark Hoyle is doing, but it goes way beyond Mark Hoyle.
You just said a new coach and a couple new players, and we're in the Sweet 16 like Michigan. That's what you said. I didn't say that. I think you said that. Why don't you stick to program directing and not worry about listening to the...
He wishes he was in the office right now.
It can. Well, Michigan did get a new coach this year. And that was a relatively unknown until the tournament, right? Right. I'm on your side, Rosie.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. Wait a minute. You were just ripping on me. Just ripping me. I'm saying it's easier to do in basketball than it is in football. Yeah, common. You got to get, the next, Bobby Jackson. You got to get the next,
He came from CSU. Big deal.
Yeah. Well, it's not about where he came from. It's where the players are coming from and what their ability is.
The days of Cinderellas are gone. You've seen it, right? Only 4 conferences have teams in the Sweet 16.
I know.
Because the nil money is
too good,
rearing its ugly head. That's exactly
it is.
No, it's true.
I think honestly, it's taken.
Furman isn't going to make a deep run because they don't have any nil money, and no kids going to Furman to play. The best players are going where the money is.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
When are they going to put a salary cap in place in college?
Well, they've talked about having kind of a pool of money that teams can draw from. I mean, they're just kind of making it up as they go along right now. They're trying to figure it all out, and
so it's common.
Same thing. What is his problem?
I'm just minding my own business over here.
Look how much fun he has when he rips you. I've never experienced this. It's fun.
It is kind of fun to rip somebody, isn't it? Just pile on.
Do you mind if I continue?
No, go ahead, rip me.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Rosie.
No, this is fine. This is a rare opportunity that you're in here. I mean, I'm just smiling from ear to ear.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
Chad Evans.
Guess what? We got to go to a break. That's unfortunate for the two of you.
Really?
We'll take a break. We'll come back. There's plenty more to get to with the legendary Mark Rosen. I'm going to ask you the question now so you can think about it during the break. After that brilliant comeback about 2 or 3 weeks ago against the Oklahoma City Thunder, we were down 48 points with 4 minutes to go and we beat Oklahoma. 48. You came in the next day and said,
fear no one.
Have no one to fear. I wonder if after last night's dreadful performance, if you think they have anybody. Isn't it fun ripping Rosie?
Yeah, Rosie. See, it's kind of fun. It's even more fun than ripping you.
Could see I was enjoying it.
You're smiling. I'm in.
So we'll rip Rosen.
You're not asking me to... never mind.
Yeah,
all right.
We'll come back and rip Rosen after this here in the Fan.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Every day, our world gets a little more connected, but a little further apart. But then, there are moments that remind us to be more human.
Thank you for calling Amica Insurance.
Hey, I was just in an accident.
Don't worry, we'll get you taken care of.
At Amica, we understand that looking out for each other isn't new or groundbreaking. It's human. Amica, empathy is our best policy.
Struggling to get out of bed? It might be time for an upgrade. Leesa makes exceptionally comfortable mattresses designed for every body and budget. But what truly sets them apart is their commitment to giving back. Since 2015, they've donated over 41,000 mattresses nationwide. Elevate your sleep and your space with Leesa. Go to Leesa.com for 20% off their award-winning mattresses, plus an extra $50 off with promo code IHEART. That's LEESA.com. Promo code IHEART for an extra $50 off.
When it comes to playtime, never let your squad down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Push your gameplay beyond performance with 13th Gen Intel Core processors. Upgrade to smooth, high-quality streaming with Intel Wi-Fi 6E. And maximize game performance with enhanced overclocking. Win the tech search and head to Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Here or not this time?
Do you know how to log into Promo Suite?
I don't read vibes.
I don't either. So Gargie's writing one up for me. Because you know what we're going to do? We're going to give away Gopher women's basketball tickets here in a little bit. They play on Thursday night at the barn.
Maybe we give the listeners their choice, either Gopher basketball tickets for the women or Flop, Sweat, and Tears is coming up a week from Friday. No, we got two. We got another
one.
I got another one this a week from Friday, and then I'm negotiating for the final one of the year.
There's not a promotion or giveaway on the station that gets more promotion of upcoming ticket giveaways than Flop, Sweat, and Tears.
Is there a better show in town than Flop, Sweat, and Tears?
I would argue yes. Like the WBIT quarters. Gophers versus Gonzaga. Thursday night, 7 o'clock.
I think it's funny.
I'm trying to give something away here, Rosie.
Tickets start at just $18.
$18.
Thanks, Gargie.
Flop, Sweat, and Tears are only $25.
You could
Crown Chuck.
$25, I wouldn't even leave my basement to see you. WBIT, would you shut up for a second? WBIT quarterfinals at the Barn against Gonzaga, Thursday night at 7. Gophersports.com. Tickets start at what?
$18.
$18 to go see that. But we have a pair of tickets to give away right now. Yes, we do.
Caller 11?
Why do we go with caller 11?
I'm not
Why do we always keep doing these? And by the way, why do we always just do giveaways to caller 11 all the time?
You shouldn't.
You have a better idea?
Yes.
Haven't had a better idea.
You should use talkback, text.
And I've said, yeah, let's do that. And then I just forget about it.
But I don't know how to log in any of that stuff because that's not what I do. So I'm going to take the 11th caller and give away a pair of tickets.
You're getting ripped, by the way. It's actually a mixed bag. Oh, go ahead, finish.
That's it. I mean, what would I be getting ripped about?
Well, this one says, what does a program director do every day? The KFAN schedule and personality have been the same for years. Here's another. Who is the new producer? First day on the job, he's ripping Common. Doesn't he know you've done this at a high level for a long time, town to town, up and down the dial?
I would agree with the long time part.
However, there are those on the other side.
Really?
I'm starting to like this Abbott guy. Hope he's paired with Common for the Program Password Invitational. The chemistry between the two of these guys is electric.
We could probably be good at that.
And then, how about this? Who? Abbott's the piece of the program that's been missing for decades.
Wow.
Huh?
You thinking about a change? Are you thinking about a change?
I thought about it. No. Yeah, I'm out. I've thought about it for the last 2 hours and
you better answer the phone. People want those tickets.
So if Abbott did become the producer, does that mean you would go into somebody else's office at 11:45 when you get here and you would leave him alone until noon?
Yes, you're getting ripped too.
Why are you ripping me?
I'm just asking. Because that's kind of, everyone's doing on Instagram the day in the life, the routines.
Yeah.
Yours is 11:45-ish.
Yeah,
you stroll into Abbott's office. If he's not there, you go to Swedberg's. If he's your producer, are you going to leave him alone until noon?
Well, he's never there anyways. Because I go looking for leadership. He's never. Today he's in a closed door meeting.
I just
can't
happen to
get
have
into word
meetings
edgewise.
11:30 to noon, and then I happen to have.
And what are you over there laughing about?
Looking for leadership.
I look for leadership from him, and there is none to be had.
More than one station.
I have two. I program 5 radios. 5.
5?
I don't think 5.
All right, Abbott's got to get these calls.
All right, 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4 is what it is. What was I going to ask you about right now?
Timberwolves.
Oh. Still think they don't have anybody to be afraid of.
They are, they're mired in some sort of little funk right now. Number one.
I wouldn't call it a little funk.
Well, I don't know. They're not alone with dealing with the ups and downs in the Western Conference. It's number one. I would not have played Anthony Edwards last night. You got a lacerated thumb.
Do we know how he lacerated it?
It was before the game. I don't know when. I mean, day off. I don't know. Maybe he was cutting onion. I don't have any idea. They didn't tell anyone. But it obviously affected his shooting. I mean, he was a bad 1 for 11 from 3-point, and he has not been shooting 3-pointers well anyway. But in particular, last night, it was put Dillingham in there. They're probably not going to. I think Finch should have realized early on, after the first quarter, they were not very competitive against a healthy full squad in Indiana. And don't even bother playing them. It just, now that's not the only reason they got throttled last night. But that would have been the main one. I would have just gone, you don't play again until Friday night. Let them heal up, take advantage, give them the night off, and move on from there. I don't know. They're just, they're not in sync in a lot of little ways. They looked real slow last night against the Pacers, who were playing up tempo and just beating, the Wolves every, fast break and every loose ball. And, they just looked like a much better team last night. And just keep in mind, the Wolves lost to them when they were playing without basically their entire starting team here a week ago. Now they came back and won a couple games, and it's still, open. And I think they'll know when the bell rings, they'll play at a higher level. But, it's just, it's just disappointing that they weren't competitive last night. And, I'm saying that happens in the NBA. Well, yeah, it does, but, it shouldn't at this point, because you're fighting for that one of the top spots in the West. And, it's really a credit, again, to Oklahoma City to see that record they have and the expectations. I mean, I can't imagine that team, that coach, that fan base, which has been starving for a champion, getting into position and not winning the West right now. They are They're deep. They're talented. They got everything they need.
They play defense too.
They play good defense, and even though it's a ultra competitive Western Conference, they are certainly odds-on favorite and then some to come out of the West. And you don't want to play that team in the first round. But the Wolves probably are the way things are. You don't know. It changes from night to night. I mean, tonight you got Golden State, who the Wolves want to see lose. The reunion game with Jimmy Buckets going to Miami tonight, which could be intriguing. I mean, for lots of reasons. We'll see how Miami reacts against Golden State. They have lost lately. The Clippers have lost a couple games. So the teams that the Wolves are competing against to try to get into that sixth spot, kind of skidding around a little bit too. But it's up to Minnesota to kind of, there's not an easy path. There's no easy path. I don't care who they're playing. We've already seen it. They lost to Utah at home. They lost to a bad, Indiana.
They're not going anywhere. You know that, don't you?
Well, I don't know that because I think
they're going to be in the 8, 10, and they're not going to make postseason play.
Well, they're going to make postseason. Oh, you're talking about the play-in.
They won't. Yeah, they'll lose in the play.
Why do you really?
Well, because this is the third game in a row in which a player for the Wolves says, "This is Dante DiVincenzo. We got to play harder." They've said that 3 games in a row. They're never going to play harder, Mark. They don't care. They're not a real team. There's no cohesiveness there. They lost that when they traded Bodega Cat. And I know the reasons why they did, because they had to, because of the second apron and the luxury tax. Mm-hmm. They traded the wrong guy. He was the glue that kept this team together. Well, that's who everybody played for.
I don't know. I tend to disagree, but I'm not diminishing the importance of Karl Anthony Towns to this franchise and to that team. But I think Julius Randle has proven to be. DiVincenzo hasn't been shooting the ball all that well lately either, and I like his game overall. I think we've seen enough glimpses, especially when they had the 8-game winning streak, that this team is capable of competing against anybody in the West. And there's a different level when you get. I don't know if it's a play-in game or postseason. There's just a different level those guys go to where they do
so you
try
think the
really
Wolves
hard.
Can just flip it on and off like a switch then?
I think I think they can certainly beat anyone that they face in the postseason.
Doesn't the other team go to a different level then too?
Sure, but they proved last year that listen, I'd love to see them play Denver. Denver can't beat this team. They haven't been able to.
Okay.
Like to see
Joker's back, Rosie.
Yeah. Denver can't beat this team, he has said.
They haven't been. See what happened last year?
The Wolves can't beat Indiana then.
Well, they don't have to worry about Indiana.
Well, if they meet them in the finals, they will.
Oh my God, let's worry about that.
What if they get in it? What if they meet them in the NBA finals?
They can get past Cleveland and Boston. Good luck to you. That's not going to happen.
Well, then we have no chance to win the NBA because if we can't get past the Pacers, how do we get by?
I'm not worrying about Boston or Cleveland. I think they got to worry about a lot more in the Western Conference.
They better worry about not slipping out of 10.
They're not going to not make the postseason.
They might lose the rest of their games.
Okay, this conversation's over.
Why?
It's a ridiculous thing to say.
Have you watched this team lately?
I watch them all the time. No. You never watch them.
Yeah, you never watch them.
That's why.
Why are you picking on me now?
How
many games have you watched?
I'm not ready yet.
He's not ready. Wait for April. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question, Rosie.
I'm trying to figure out where I can watch the Twins starting Thursday.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I'm waiting for the big announcement.
I mean, don't rush into anything.
No, I mean, they still have not announced.
You can stream them. You can spend $20 a month.
I'm not talking. Of course, I know I can watch it on my phone. I don't want to watch a baseball game on my telephone or on my computer.
You can go. Here's the thing. Don't ask me how to do it. I don't know how, but my boys can take anything on the phone and have it on TV within seconds.
Well, the Twins are.
Karen can figure that out for you.
No, she can't.
Wow. Now you're ripping Karen.
Now you're
God,
ripping
I hope she doesn't hear that.
Now you're ripping your wife.
I know.
Wow.
She's got plenty of other skills. The Twins are waiting. I mean, I think we're waiting on the Twins, which is, by the way, the game is Thursday.
It's opening day Thursday already?
Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock in St. Louis. And I'm still waiting to hear like I'm a Comcast subscriber. I don't think they've made the announcement. I know they've seen a bunch of other places where you can.
You ain't going to miss much, trust me. They're going to lose 2 or 3 in the first series, maybe 3 of them.
Maybe they will. But I still want to see
you know what? We're going to be really good.
My God.
Did you see who made the roster?
I'm looking at it. I'm seeing who didn't make it. Yeah.
Dobbs made it.
You doubted Dobbs.
Yeah, you doubted Dobbs.
You did.
You've been ripping it.
I see the ones that did make it. Your guys, like Zebby Matthews and David Festa, didn't make the team right away. But they got the St. Paul. If you want to go watch some really good baseball, St. Paul's going to have a great...
Matthews and Festa didn't make because they want him to work every day like they're with the big leagues.
Right, I understand that. But they got a pretty good roster in St. Paul, so it's they're going to be...
I think their roster in St. Paul might be better than the big league roster in Minneapolis.
There are times...
Healthier, anyway.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
And you can hear them all summer long on KFAN Plus 96.7 and on the free iHeartRadio app. Yes. I can tell you where their games are.
Yeah.
See? Yeah, that's easy enough.
So there you go. Let's do this. Let's take the final break. We got one more segment to go. All
right.
We'll see who Abbott wants to get going. Does he want to get Rosen going or Common going in the last segment?
Oh, this is fun.
It is kind of fun. Let's get each other going. It's more fun that way. We'll do it after this here on The Fan.
At Amica Insurance, we know it's more than just a car or a house. It's the four wheels that get you where you're going and the four walls that welcome you home. When you combine auto and home insurance with Amica, we'll help protect it all. And the more you cover, the more you can save. Amica. Empathy is our best policy.
Struggling to get out of bed? It might be time for an upgrade. Lisa makes exceptionally comfortable mattresses designed for every body and budget. But what truly sets them apart is their commitment to giving back. Since 2015, they've donated over 41,000 mattresses nationwide. Elevate your sleep in your space with Lisa. Go to lisa.com for 20% off their award-winning mattresses, plus an extra $50 off with promo code IHEART. That's LEESA.com. Promo code IHEART for an extra $50 off.
When it comes to playtime, never let your squad down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Push your gameplay beyond performance with 13th Gen Intel Core processors. Upgrade to smooth, high-quality streaming with Intel Wi-Fi 6E. And maximize game performance with enhanced overclocking. Win the tech search and head to Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Everything happens so fast, especially now in today's world. It feels surreal. When I was here before, this was the old Bierman Athletic Complex. So last night when Mark took me in here, it was just wow. I mean, what they've done with this place is amazing. And all around Dinkytown and kind of getting a feel for it again. It brings back a ton of memories and makes me feel even more and more excited about this opportunity.
Are you confused what show you're running the board for? I mean, we don't do sound bites like sports-related stuff. When did you start?
It's a sports show, isn't it?
It is. Well, not
Since
really.
When?
Well, you don't normally play sound bites and talk about the news of the day. That was Niko Medved just announced the
No, we talk about things like this. You ready for this one?
Oh.
This one says, Abbott needs to fine-tune his ripping. He rips at random. It takes a rare talent to rip properly.
I have noticed that, yeah.
A little rusty.
There's an art to it.
And I'm not used to doing it in front of both of your faces. Like, I'm really good behind the back.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that
it's
funny?
a little awkward doing it while you're looking at me.
Here's another one. This one says, the audience likes the new interim producer. He's feisty. They like your feistiness.
Well,
you're starting to gain some fans here.
I'm gonna miss
How'd you like to come back tomorrow?
I was just going to say tomorrow. Not a good
look
day
at
for
my
me.
schedule.
Yeah, not going to work. Brett's busy today. I'm busy tomorrow.
How about this one? Is this producer the same guy who produced PA and Dubé long ago? I thought he was fired. They thought you'd been let go and they thought you'd been fired.
They did they?
You're fired. You're fired. Think about it. This one says if you can get Netflix on your TV, you can get Twins TV.
I can get Netflix on my TV.
Well, then you can get Twins TV, so stop complaining and worrying.
So I go to Netflix and say, just talk to it and say, give me Twins baseball?
Give me Twins TV, it's called.
All right, on Netflix.
It's called,
okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
But they're talking about having a TV partner on a carrier, right?
Yes.
And it depends on which package you get.
Correct. I think there's still an announcement forthcoming, but I do appreciate that information in case it doesn't happen by Thursday. I don't know.
Has anybody ever seen Abbott and Brody in the same room?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Who?
He calls into our show all the time. Brody.
Thanks for listening.
Viking fan.
Not familiar.
Huh. Wow.
And how can you be so critical of my show when he never listens?
No. I've walked into his office and he doesn't even have it on. Can you turn that up? I like to hear what Common has to say.
I usually listen back to the Power Trip at that point.
Did I read this right? I'm trying to just ignore that and bypass it. I want to walk by. The Twins are now, they don't have a buyer. They're not sure if they're going to have a buyer, but if they do, Joe Pohlad still wants to call the shots. Is that what I read?
I don't know. I believe that. I also saw that they're heavily in debt. Millions and millions and millions of dollars in debt. From what?
Well, apparently all baseball teams are in debt. That's the way they cook the books.
Well, don't they have a bunch of real estate downtown that's not going well?
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
It's called cooking the books is what they do. All teams do it, cook the books. My guess is Rosen's restaurant was running on a deficit, too, so you could cook your books. You did more cooking than just food over there at Rosen's.
Yeah, you did, Rosie.
Yeah. Pile on. Isn't it fun?
Yeah, I was there. I saw you.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was
fun. A lot of good times there. I don't know if Joe Pohlad. I mean, I don't. First of all, it's going to be months and months before this is settled, I think, and who knows where the local ownership might surface, and meantime, the games go on and life goes on, and people, if they so desire, go to Target Field and watch the games, and hopefully they'll give them a good product. I mean, they got to be better than they were the last month of last year, which was a complete disaster. And it's up to Rocco to get those guys rolling right away and stay healthy. Good luck with that.
Amy, I don't know how her last name's pronounced. Is it Liker? She works for the Fish Wrap Factory West Side. She came on, I think, during the football season last year, and she writes for the Fish Wrap Factory West Side and does a mighty fine job. She posted a story not long ago, a couple hours ago. Vikings J.J. McCarthy says he hasn't been told he's QB1. I try to earn it every single day. He appeared on Kay Adams' Up and Adams show. Get it?
It's like Vikings Uncensored at Joe Censor. Same concept.
He's in Mexico for a golf tournament.
Oh.
What?
Say that again?
We did a show called Vikings Uncensored, and we did it at Joe Censors.
Oh.
For all these years.
You didn't know?
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's why we called it. Yeah.
Vikings Uncensored at Joe Censors.
That's why. So kind of a play on words like Up and Adams with
like
Kay
Up and Adams.
Yeah.
He's playing in the NFLPA Classic Golf Tournament. And asked when he found out he'd be the guy for the Vikings, McCarthy said that conversation hasn't happened yet. Adams referenced free agent quarterback Aaron Rodgers, reported interest in the Vikings. McCarthy said, they haven't told me. I'm happy they didn't because I try to earn it every single day. I never want that to be given to me. It's such a privilege and an opportunity to give me the chance, and I'm just going to make the most of it every single day. So he's not been told he's the starting
Much
QB.
ado about nothing.
Well, how do you know?
Because, as PA said today, if he wasn't QB1, Aaron Rodgers would be in uniform here already. He'd be signed,
Is he
sealed,
signed
and
somewhere
delivered.
else? Does Rodgers have a job anywhere else right
Does
now?
Rodgers playing with the team right now?
It's Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to sign with the team until July.
When did the national treasure suddenly become the final word on the Vikings?
I'm just saying, but it's like, he doesn't need that. So is Rippon going to be the starting quarterback? It's March. Settle down, everybody.
Sounds like you're ripping now.
I am ripping. He's not going to be the starting quarterback. It's J.J. McCarthy's job. It doesn't matter what you think and saying it. He doesn't have to have a proclamation
so
at KOC.
So you've been told by somebody that he's the starting quarterback.
I've been around long enough to know what is going on over there.
What's Karn have to say?
I can't tell you what Karn is saying. She's busy with other things going on over there. Lots of contracts going past her desk.
What kind of contracts?
None of your business.
For who?
By the way, when is Cam going to get his deal done? They don't want him there anymore.
Yes, they do.
Well, why hasn't he signed it yet? They couldn't get KOC under contract quick enough, and Cam is just like, we'll get to it.
Let's see how he does in the draft.
It's exactly like you.
You're like him.
I'm like him. I've been waiting for a contract. I said, we'll get back to you, Common.
That's the way it works.
Meanwhile, dotted line, big ticket,
everybody,
PA,
sauce.
Morning show, everybody. But me, they just...
Not me, I'm gone.
Yeah. No.
I got the boot.
Yeah, well...
But I'm still here.
But you're still here.
I love it. Because I enjoy working with you.
What about me?
I don't ever see you.
You like working with me?
Yeah, I do. Oh. I actually do. Yeah.
Most people think you would despise it.
Not real. No, this is too much fun.
Pablo versus Sonny Gray opening day.
What do you think of that?
I think Sonny's got a little revenge.
Yeah,
a little revenge motive for Sonny Gray.
I think that's way past his mindset at this point.
I think you're probably right.
It wasn't. Yeah, that's on Thursday. So here we go. Then they have the Friday off, which is typical. I assume the weather will be pretty decent in St. Louis. It's always warmer there this time of year, and it's going to be pretty nice here. But Twins have the home opener, a week from now? Yeah, a little over a week from now. Yeah, it'd be nice from get their head above water for a little while.
Somebody says it was funny how bitter Barney was when JJ was on with Kay Adams and not 9 to Noon. Was PA bitter?
Oh, I missed it. I don't listen to his show either, was he?
Oh, I bet he was just bitter that he didn't get him. Think about it. It's so good.
And you find it funny?
I do.
I guess I kind of do.
We'll get him on when we're down there for training camp.
KFAN the restaurant was also cooking the books. Unfortunately, that's all they were cooking on most nights.
That's uncalled for.
That's uncalled for.
Cheap shot.
Why are you laughing, Rosie?
Yeah, why are you over there laughing about it?
I had a good time at KFAN the restaurant. There were a couple nights.
Business probably could have been better.
Probably. It could have been. Man.
I mean, we could find better partners and give it another shot.
What a concept.
How about KFAN the laundromat? Think that would work?
Probably better than the restaurant.
KFAN the coffee shop.
No, there you go. Coffee shops can't miss.
KFAN the parking lot.
Well,
we could just take over the entire Twin Cities. Yeah. KFAN this, KFAN that. We're having enough trouble keeping a radio station on the air, to be honest with you. We better just stick
that's a lot. I don't even want to start thinking about the other entities. Rosie, we open on the 27th in St. Louis, correct?
Yes,
Twins, that's
Thursday.
Right?
Yes,
There's
Thursday
70 degrees there. And then on Friday, 82.
I don't play
Saturday,
Friday.
I know. But, it could.
Yeah.
Saturday, 71.
Why don't we go down there and do some live broadcasts? Oh, yes. Hell yeah, I'll go. You ever played the country club in St. Louis? It's beautiful.
Have you really?
Definitely tee it up there.
We'll get some tea times.
Yeah.
I wonder if Joe Polak golf.
Why does every trip for work include a golf trip for you?
Because that's what I do.
It's being the golf ambassador. It's his job.
She wants to rip. Yeah, she wants to rip
she likes golf. She's wearing a green jacket.
No, she wants to rip you.
Me about what?
Is she there?
She's ripping both of you.
What is she?
Why
sticking
are you
her
ripping?
Nose in there for?
Now what?
Oh my God!
Why you? He says you want to rip us about what?
Yeah.
Where do I begin?
See, it's not just me.
You want me to go get the list on my desk?
I don't think we've done anything wrong. Of course, we haven't done anything right either.
There's that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't kill you to get me some NTR every now and then.
I tried to tell you, get us title sponsor for Flop, Sweat, and Tears.
And I told you why that's hard to do.
Because it's not funny?
Wow. It's not what I said. But that's what you said. That's
what you do. You find a company that wants to pony up $100,000 to have
$100,000. $100,000.
Naming rights for Flop, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh.
What business wouldn't want to have their name plastered on posters and placards in front of a crowd of 150 about 40 or 50 people on 8 or 10 Friday nights?
Who gives more effort right now, Meat Sauce or the Timberwolves?
Wow.
What a shot.
I'm just asking.
They are on this very airwaves.
I think it might be, it's close. Sauce could play for the Timberwolves right now.
Wow.
I mean, he'd be sixth man, but he could play for the Timberwolves right now. At least he put in some effort.
They're the ones that say it, Rosie, not us.
What's that?
They're the ones saying the effort thing, not us.
Yeah. Got to try harder. And you still think about it, he goes, Denver can't beat us.
They can't.
They try.
Well, because I mean, you're taking. I'm not even going to get into it with you right now. Let's just wait till middle of April.
We might be out of it by the middle of April.
It's possible.
Somebody has a question for Lil B. Does Lil B have Kendrick tickets for the Rubes? Is Kendrick coming to town? Kendrick Lamar? Is that who this person's referring to?
Kendrick Lamar coming.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah, are we going to have tickets for the Rubes?
Big stadium show.
Are we going to have tickets for the Rubes, or is that impossible? He sells out. They don't give tickets.
Well, we didn't get them for this station. We got it for a different
isn't that funny?
station.
Interesting.
You know, you guys get enough.
We get tickets for Flop, Sweat, and Tears.
Not by choice.
The golf show.
Wow. And the golf show, the others are getting Kendrick Lamar. Can't
you spread the wealth?
No, you guys have enough. Then I hear, how come we don't get Vikings tickets? How come we don't get Wild? Everybody comes to Little B and complains about everything they don't have. Everybody's keeping score around here, and I've just about had it.
Goes, so what? We get drunk.
No.
So, isn't that him?
That's a good song, though.
It's not him.
Kendrick had the Drake song from the Super Bowl. I can't get enough of it.
The Super Bowl, yeah.
Oh, God, it was so good.
Is he at the big stadium?
Yeah. He's going to the People's Stadium.
When is that happening?
April something.
Oh, does she look like Ticketmaster?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, what do I look like?
Kind of.
Yeah, he's coming in April with SZA.
Yeah.
You love SZA.
I'm going to be seeing Dylan. And
nobody asked.
Wow. Everyone's getting ripped today.
Well, I've just about had it. My patience is thin.
You didn't have to come in
If you think Bob was hard to understand back when he was in the 60s, just wait to get a load of him.
I don't expect to hear him. I don't expect to hear a dialogue with the audience. No.
Blue. Good luck to you with that. He's past his prime, just so you know.
Oh, you think?
Well, you would know.
What's that supposed to mean?
What is happening?
Wow, this is...
You're not helping over there.
I didn't come in here for this. I came in here for something else.
He said you wanted to rip us. Was he making that up?
I just said she was ripping
I was. I didn't want to do it to your face.
See, you're causing trouble. I don't think you're cut out for this show. We don't do things like this.
No.
Here.
No, you guys are real supportive of each other generally, aren't you?
Abbott's taken over this whole
show. This show seems like it's been 6 hours long with you in that chair.
Just...
Trust me, goes both ways.
You going to be able to find somebody to fill in tomorrow, or I might have to put up with you again?
A dog with a note in its mouth could fill in this show.
Yeah, that's true, too. Actually, you could just run it from your office, couldn't you? I don't need you to chime in. You could just, when I go to break, boom, you hit and bring it back.
That's a good idea.
I asked Rosie, I said, why aren't you doing it? And he said, nobody has ever taught me how to run the board. How has he been doing this for 74 years, and nobody has ever showed him how to run the board?
You can't be in the
How
Hall
is that
of Fame
possible?
at Pavic and have never run the board.
You learn where the dump button is, you pot in, you pot out.
I'm sure I would take me 5 minutes. I mean, come on.
You can't even log into your own email.
Oh, my God. I've done remotes. I've done all of it.
Ding.
I've mastered the art of television, so I can do all that.
Have you?
You have no idea. That's a Wheatstone board. You couldn't run a
Wheatstone. I've heard you guys talking about that.
It's the LX24.
What's that?
It's the LX24.
It's the LX24 by Wheatstone.
Yeah.
You think
it looks like...
That's a little bit above your pay grade.
It might be. Well, obviously, Abbott couldn't find anyone else to do it, so that's why he's here.
It's my job for the next 24 hours is to find somebody to
The best was when I walked in and I saw Zacho because I thought it was going to be Zacho. He said, nope, it's Abbott. And I laughed because he hates this more than it's like torture for him.
He's so stressed out.
It's so much fun. But for all the grief you've given me, this is your how do you say that? Comeuppance. This is it. You deserve this torture for how mean you've been to me over
But then I
years.
get to hit the reset button and do it all over again, huh?
Think about when you have to come in here tomorrow when you can't find anybody.
We'll play best of. I'll find something.
Whoa, wait a minute. Best of Common, you're going to run the same 15 seconds over and over and over again?
Segment 1 to segment 2. Segment 1 to segment 2.
Just over and over again.
Wow, I'm getting stressed out.
Come on, you can get there. 2 more minutes. Let's go.
Yeah, well, we're getting ripped. Nobody's having fun listening to this.
Trust me.
That is abundantly clear.
I think it's funny. Here's one that says, this show should come with a warning, excessive ripping. Then, Rosen's been nominated for a positive statement. I've mastered the art of television. Mastered the art of television, he said.
Go over to the Pavic Museum. You can check it out.
I boycott the Pavic. I've boycotted
I know
Pavic.
you have.
You have to bring that up. Didn't you want to rub it in? Yeah. Knowing how much it means to me. I want to be in the
Look how hurt he is now.
All I've ever wanted to aspire to.
I had to read the recent inductees.
I saw that. Yeah.
I did it right on this very program.
I know you did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, is that it?
Oh. What a shame. Wow.
For those of you who are wondering why we've been called the worst all sports radio station in the country, now you have proof. Now you know why.
That's 3 hours.
I've enjoyed our visit together. Thanks for having me, Abbott.
Hey, great job.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock, right?
I can hardly wait.
Abbott, see you back here at noon tomorrow. Can't wait.
Not a chance.
No. We enjoyed our visit. By the way, somebody said they loved the fresh new program.
It's the first thing new you've done in 20 years.
We'll be back tomorrow at 12 noon. Big Tick and JGR next year on The Fan.
Good night. Good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include a lot more people than ourselves. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, we help plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because even though our business is helping guide your finances, our ambition is to make it mean so much more. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
Struggling to get out of bed? It might be time for an upgrade. Lisa makes exceptionally comfortable mattresses designed for every body and budget. But what truly sets them apart is their commitment to giving back. Since 2015, they've donated over 41,000 mattresses nationwide. Elevate your sleep and your space with Lisa. Go to lisa.com for 20% off their award-winning mattresses, plus an extra $50 off with promo code iHeart. That's LEESA.com, promo code iHeart for an extra $50 off.
When it comes to playtime, never let your squad down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Push your gameplay beyond performance with 13th Gen Intel Core processors. Upgrade to smooth, high-quality streaming with Intel Wi-Fi 6E. And maximize game performance with enhanced overclocking. Win the tech search and head to Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.